what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rise. We're back here at Dimmitt Chevrolet in super sunny Clearwater, Florida. And guess what? I have that big, super-sized SUV, actually the largest SUV in Chevrolet's lineup. This is it. This is a 2022 Chevrolet Suburban. But before we get into this large and in-charge SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. The Suburban. That's been in Chevrolet's lineup for so many, not years, but decades. It's been that go-to for people who need the ultimate in space to carry their family, their belongings, their friends, or just have the ultimate party vehicle. Now, for 2022, believe it or not, there's actually some changes. There's some updates, even though last year, model year 2021, they did a total redesign. What I want to find out specifically with this review is I want to show you what those changes are. One of them is going to be very, very impressive and maybe just blow your mind, but I also want to compare this to the sister brand. What's the sister brand to Chevrolet when we're talking about SUVs? Not Cadillac, GMC, General Motors Truck Company. They make a vehicle called the Yukon. Now, the standard Yukon goes up against the Tahoe here at the Chevrolet dealerships, but the Yukon comes in an XL, extra long, extra size. That is the main competitor to the Suburban. So let's find out, what are the changes for 2022 with the Suburban, and is the Suburban the one to buy over the GMC Yukon XL? Let's go ahead, find out what our 2022 Suburban. Right off the bat, I'm still digging the style with the redesign. Remember, we were at the Chicago Auto Show all the way back in 2020, right before the pandemic. We were able to bring to you the redesign. Starts at the front of the business, and I really think that it fits it so well for the larger vehicle. You're gonna get full LED headlights, shining nice and bright. I like the chrome trim at the front, and then the way that they do the LED turn signals and daytime running lamps. Yes, it has a little bit of a Transformer-esque look to it, but it really kind of fits nicely to a big, huge front end of an SUV. Now, you are gonna get functional corner air curtains, side air curtains. They're gonna channel that air in. I like the style. It gives it some nice overall muscle look to the Suburban. And then as we come across the front, our particular trim comes with a bling and bling bling chrome grille. Love the horizontal slots. That iconic Chevrolet bow tie badge has been around for so many years. And then dropping it all the way down, what do we got? A little bit of chrome trim just to balance it out. And then obviously some flat black, but the zonk that I have is this is non-functional. Why did they even put that there? Why not just keep it smooth? And I don't think anybody would have said, hey, I want a fake vent in the lower portion of the bumper. So we are gonna zonk that, but I do like all of the gloss black elements, and of course, that nice shiny chrome makes me think of the Suburbans over the different years and decades. Now, as we jump up onto this high hood, you're gonna see a nice fold and a crease. Everything goes right towards the A-pillars and the windshield. Almost has a little bit of a bulge to the hood to give it that nice muscle look. Coming around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. Check these beautiful wheels out. 20-inch in diameter, machined aluminum, looking great with the metallic gray finish. Your Chevrolet bow tie badge in the center. These are 275 on the width and a super meaty 60 series sidewall. You could get your Suburban in rear wheel drive like this one, or 4x4 setup where you send power to all four wheels. What's nice is you're getting a good size brake caliper. And another thing that I love, no flat black plastic cladding on the fenders. So that's a really, really nice touch that you don't see a lot. But this is that body on frame construction. And if you're comparing it to the Yukon, I feel like at the front, the Yukon has a little bit more mature appearance rather than the more aggressive Transformer-esque style. But the way that they got a good amount of tire space between the top of the tire inside the fender gives it a great style. Just sitting here still, you're gonna get the Suburban name in that shiny chrome finish. Pops off nicely. We got color matched on the mirror caps, just a little bit of gloss black. And then I like the way they did the gloss black up top, shiny metal style finish on the bottom, and then you are going to have your stationary running boards all the way back with a little bit of chrome trim, color matched door handles, and then of course we have these nice aluminum style low roof rails with the crossbars. So think about it. You're going on that family trip, you could get the kayaks, you could get a cargo basket, you could put whatever you want up there, and it's nice to have this step. So you could actually like do your step class and get a little bit of workout in. I feel good. I feel like my cardiovascular strength is increasing. As we keep working our way towards the back, they did a great job taking the trim. Instead of making the glass super size, just take the trim, gives it a nice style. Rear quarter window is bigger than some windows in houses. So you're gonna get a lot of nice bright natural light, and what's wonderful is that there's actually people now who wanna sit in that third row, because underneath this part of the vehicle is that new updated independent rear suspension. Really allows that floor to be super low so that your knees aren't super high in your mouth. But working our way towards the rear, you're gonna get a nice low roof spoiler, some gloss black aero to bring that air down the side of the vehicle. Actually digging the way that they did the taillights. I am gonna zonk that it's not an LED turn signal in there, but great style with the Chevrolet name in there. Heartbeat of America. You got that horizontal chrome trim, Suburban across the back. This is an LT, LS is your base. This is an LT trim, and then it just keeps going up from there. But we're gonna go down because I wanna showcase how nice and clean from the rear of the vehicle. I show how that automatic tailgate lifts up. You just take your foot or your arm in this case, and it opens up really nicely. But underneath here, you do have the ability to hook up your trailer, because this could tow some major poundage. But why don't we go ahead, let's open up the hood and see what's powering our Suburban. All right, guys, we got the hood open. You do have hydraulic hood struts. Underneath the hood, the standard engine is gonna be that 5.3 liter V8 engine. You can option in the 6.2 and that turbo diesel engine, but what do we got in ours? We have that tried and true 5.3 liter Vortec V8. You're looking at 355 horsepower, 383 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to the 10-speed automatic transmission. The vehicle weighs 5,616 pounds in our two-wheel drive setup. Remember, it's rear-wheel drive base. 0 to 60 in about 7.2 seconds. Quite respectable for the weight of this vehicle. And like I said, if you want to tow something, you could tow up to 7,800 pounds. MPGs, as to be expected with a rolling massive vehicle like this. 15 in the city, 20, you wish 29 on the highway, 19 on the highway. But I do like the way you can now option that 6.2 liter V8 if you like. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the interior, because guess what? There's some big changes that I have in store for you. All right, guys, we're inside the full-size Suburban for 2022. I promise you that there was some updates, and guess what? I'm gonna showcase them to you. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I've looked at Tahoes, I've looked at Yukons, I like them both. How much is this Suburban? Because I'm thinking that, you know what? I'm gonna have a few extra kids, maybe 6 or 7 extra kids. I need the extra room. How much is this one? MSRP is $61,000 for the way that this LT trimmed Suburban is. But let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. Love the style. This is something that with last year in the redesign, you get that beautiful soft touch material, white contrast stitching. I'm even digging that wood finish. It's nothing too crazy, just enough. Everything else is flat black, so you don't have to worry about fingerprints. Super soft on the armrest. You have the official Chevrolet banana holder in the center. Good for one banana to get your potassium. And then the door pocket, that's where you want to go to Jimmy John's and get that super-sized sub. Drop it in there for lunch and a bottle of root beer. Plus, we got the Bose sound system. And look at the size of that speaker grill cover. It's bigger than some vehicles here at Dimmitt Chevrolet. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, same thing. They changed it up. Nice soft touch material, the wood style finish, even the oh crap handle or the handle to pull yourself in as the passenger, soft touch material here. And then we get to the infotainment side of things. Now, before I show you this, You do have a little secret compartment with some felt lining in there. So you could probably put, I would say, maybe 4 small porcelain Smurf dolls that your grandmother gave you as a gift. And then you could just seal them up in there and they're not gonna get scratched. But this is where the magic happens. You have that over 10-inch infotainment system, new for 2022. We got Google Maps. There we are, the United States. We're all the way down there. Let me know where you're watching Raity's Rides from. I'll mark it on our Google Maps. But you have that for your navigation. We got Google, we got Google, and we got Google Assistant, which is really wonderful. And then what I've always liked about the infotainments in Chevrolet products is just how easy they are to navigate. Watch this. All by the touch of the screen. You could go into your rear camera. Resolution is the best in the biz. Just like Lori is the best in the biz with the camera, camera resolution on a GM product is the best in the biz. Now, if you don't like trajectory, which is great to have, you could actually make it disappear. Or if you're gonna trailer, there you go, backing up your Suburban, you could look like a pro as you're backing it up to the trailer to get that thing all hooked up, get the boat down to the water, and then to get out of it, it's just like that. Nice, quick swipe. Look at that. Swipe, 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 swipe. We'll stop at settings. We'll go into vehicle. Let me show you some of the touches they got. If you got a teen driver in your household, first of all, I gotta say, God bless you. Second of all, you could have it set up where set a key with custom restrictions and alerts that can help your teen make good driving decisions. Man, if only that was that easy for your teen to make good decisions in life, that would be perfect. But it's nice that Chevrolet is thinking about you and your sanity and your kid's safety. That's important as well. But I do love just the nice way that this swipes easily back and forth, 1, 2, 3. And then to get back to home, here we are. Look at the climate control. Look at the graphics. This is stuff that you never saw in a Chevrolet product. And when you're comparing this to the Yukon, GMC is supposed to be a little bit more premium, which it is, but you're getting great stuff at this price point. It's even got for the recirculating button here on the screen. That's the shape of a Suburban, official, all the way down to scale. And I like this soft touch material because you could rest your hand here and you could just go like this all day long. Just make sure you're focused on the driving portion or you're gonna be driving your Suburban off a cliff. You even have the trailer lights test package. So you can test and make sure your lights on your trailer are working. That's important. But there you go. 1, 2, 3, and then watch. You wanna go back to maps? Ta-da! How about, what do we got going on over here? This is that push-pull system. So why they call it push-pull? Push for park, push for neutral, pull for drive, pull for reverse. That's gonna control the 10-speed automatic. You got your 2 AC vents, and then as we drop it down, I like the way you got actual radio controls and AC controls, dual climate, heated seats, no ventilated seats. I am gonna zonk it at this price point. Wireless charging though, a 12 volt, a USB-C, and a USB. Plus, look at the stitching. And then look what we got on the side. You have a Twinkie holder on the side. Stack 5 Twinkies in there for your next family trip. 2 cup holders. You probably want to see the key fob, don't you? But we'll get to that in a second as I'm talking. Nice soft material, a place to put your phone. Watch this, just to test it out for you. Put my phone right there, and what it's going to do is it's going to slide around as it's not going to slide around as you're driving. And then I'm going to actually get the key fob out somehow. Here it is. Chevrolet, of course, with the bow tie. Flip it around, what do we got? We got remote start. You got all the buttons there, real nice setup. And then now it's time to open this. You ready? 1, 2, 3, bam. You got your Planters party tray, honey roasted, macadamia, and pistachios, and the kids could take it with them. USB-C, USB, and enough room to put your kids' balls in here so they don't have to play with them and drive you nuts. Seats, nice soft material. The stitching is great. You do have electric assist for the passenger and for the driver. I'm swimming in space in here. If you get in the Suburban and you say, oh, it's a little tight, I don't know what else you're gonna drive. Maybe a pallet with wheels and an engine on it and a steering wheel. But speaking of steering wheels, I got something new over here I wanna show you, coming over the business end so I could show you what the Suburban has for 2022. All right, guys, here we are in this LT trim. Remember, there's higher ways you could go and option your Suburban all the way up to high country, and we will be bringing that to you here from Dimmitt Chevrolet. But for now, look at what we got. Some nice aluminum sill plates with the Chevrolet name to kind of welcome you in. You got your seat controls, easy to get to, especially that lower lumbar. Like I said, I'm 6 feet tall. I got plenty of room in here. Now, the one thing I wish they would have done is change the steering wheel. It is a little on the boring side, especially the horn. The horn button, whoever designed this, we need a redesign. We need to change this up. But the great news is the buttons are flat black, and it does have a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. But wouldn't you agree with me? Wouldn't you like to see a little, 21st century design? Because guess what? For 2022, we got it. 12 inches of visual pleasure, smack dab right in your face. Love the font, the colors, the graphics. This is the way it should have been since last year with the total redesign. But you could scroll through a cornucopia, a plethora, so much information in the center, easy to use. Love the way you got the tach on the right, and then you got the speedometer on the left. You could change up all the readouts. Really, really special to have that kind of technology now in the Suburban. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the mid-row and see how your passengers are gonna like cruising in this supersized Chevrolet. All right, guys, here we are inside the mid-row of the Suburban. So far, when you look at the interior, yes, the Yukon is gonna have a little bit extra niceties, but I'm telling you, the gap has closed down big time. Speaking of big time, look at the backs of these big seats. Nice soft material. You got plenty of room for the kids to bring some actual books. Tell them to leave their technology at home, bring some books, learn to read, enjoy reading, because reading is so important, and that is the special message of the day. 2 cup holders, good size, not a Yeti cup holder, but still pretty good size. You do have your climate controls and your USB-Cs, plus we got a home power source back here. So if they resist and they bring their freaking electronics, they have somewhere to plug it in. I got my own pocket over here because I'm gonna bring Beowulf. I remember when I was forced to read that by my senior year history reading teacher, but I got it done, made it happen, and here I am now to live to tell the tale about it. Seats, comfy, you got nice captain's chairs with the nice armrest. Normally I don't like these because they make them too skinny, but Chevrolet made them large, just like the Suburban. They flip up out of the way very easily. What also is very easy to do is look at it. Oh yeah, you got sliding seats and you got, wait for it, full reclining seats. Really nice to have this. I remember my mom's 9-passenger station wagon. We didn't have any of that. You just sat in your damn seat, and if you open up your mouth, then my dad would be like, shut up. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the third row and see if anybody's gonna enjoy sitting back there in the Suburban. All right, guys, where's Joe ready from Raiti's Rides? I'm already in the third row, sitting comfortably, but watch this. I actually can move the seat very easily from this third row. I'm just gonna take this tether and pull. Voila, come on in, because there's more room in here than there was in my college dorm room. First of all, look at how low my knees are. I'm 6 feet tall, knees are nice and low. I like the way they did the stitching on the seats. A lot of times manufacturers like put the cheap stuff in the back. Not Chevrolet. They did the stitch work just like everybody else gets. And then on top of that, I'm gonna have you spin around here. You got a cup holder, you got a Skittles tray, and you got a USB-C on both sides. So they took care of the third row passengers that sit in the back. A lot of times you would just put the peasants back here because it was like sitting in a cave with your knees up by your ears. But now you actually kind of want to sit back here, which is nice. But why don't we go ahead, let's check out the cargo area, because this Suburban lives and dies by cargo space. Let's check it out. All right, guys, time to reopen that hatch. We kind of showed you how the hands-free works. I'm going to show you again, but instead of me using my arm, I'm going to use the intended foot to open up this rear hatch. So you're going to just swipe your leg underneath there, and look at that. 1, 2, 3, easy peasy lemon squeezy. This is what makes the Suburban a go-to for people who want that maximum size. Instead of going Tahoe, I know a lot of people have been probably during this review, I'll just get a Tahoe. Well, guess what? You're looking at 41.5 cubic feet of space with the seat up. You fold the third row down, that gives you 93.8 cubic feet of space. You fold down the mid row, you're looking at 145 cubic feet of space. Now, before you get too excited and you say, Joe, this is the perfect SUV for me, there is a zonk. But first, before I show you that, let me show you that you do have a home power source in the back. Not a 12-volt home power source. Perfect for when you're camping, tailgating, whatever you're doing. Underneath here, we got a little bit of storage. Get yourself about 42 Twinkies. Fit perfect. The one zonk, there's no button to release the seats. So what you have to do is you got to reach in here like this, and then you're going to have to lift up. Seats go down nicely, but you're just gonna, you know, if you're somebody that maybe has a brand new dress on, or you're going to church or whatever, you got your church Sunday best, who wants to lean up against a dirty bumper to do this? But that's how you do it. Now, good luck getting those tethers, because you got to get to the tether to pull up the seat. I'm not even gonna do it. I've already scuffed up my knees. It looks like I went sliding into first base, but you know what? It's about that time. We showcase what's new. Now it's time to go on throttle in our full-size Suburban. All right, guys, we're leaving Dimmitt Chevrolet. We're in this 2022 Chevrolet Suburban LT. We got the changes to the interior, which really just changes the whole driving experience. Having the digital dash, it looks great. Colors, graphics, the way it's laid out. Getting to the infotainment, very, very simple, well within reach. Everywhere you're putting your arms, your fingers, your back, your neck, your ears, it's all soft touch material, and I really, really like that. Great view. And what's amazing is even for such a supersized vehicle, it's quite easy to drive. Going down the road, nice and quiet, with those meaty sidewalls. Even though we have 20-inch wheels, you're getting a nice, comfortable ride, and a nice, quiet ride, which is great. Brakes feel good. I guess the big question is, do you really need to go 6.2 liter? I think that if you're gonna be really towing a lot and you want that ultimate in acceleration, then you're kind of already making your mind up. The decision's been made, but it is nice to have the option. But let's go ahead, let's get on the highway, on throttle. 10-speed drops down and we are off. You got that nice V8 sound, of course, naturally aspirated, good torque delivery, and the 10-speed shifts like a hot knife through butter. Getting out on the highway, you got plenty of oomph to pass. And then once you get into the spot you want to be, you just set the cruise control and you're good to go. Of course, all the safety features all tied into this vehicle. And now with the new additions to technology, those third row passengers are going to be very, very comfortable, very happy. And it just, with the independent rear suspension now, instead of the solid axle, it just really glides nicely down the road. But good feel, good feedback, and you got room for everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and slow down real quick. Nobody's behind us. I'm gonna slow down a little bit. We're gonna go on throttle once again. On throttle, here we go. 10-speed drops down and we're going. Pulls nice and low all the way through the rev range. It's really hard for me now to fault the Suburban. I mean, besides the steering wheel, I would like a new steering wheel, but I'm telling you, plenty of storage areas, wireless charging, wireless connectivity. You got wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and room for everybody, including the whole neighborhood. And to navigate this, even through these frontage roads, really is a piece of cake. Visibility out the front is great. Side mirrors, great size. I think the one area where you're probably going to have the most difficulty is obviously going to be parking. That's going to be the bear of this vehicle. I would option one of those digital rear view mirrors just to help you out a little bit. I think airport parking is going to be the worst because those spots are usually the tightest. But I think it's possible, obviously. You're just going to need to practice if you're not used to a big, huge vehicle like the Suburban. And if you need something a little smaller, they do have the Tahoe, which is a little bit shorter, obviously. But even going over bumps, I mean, this thing just soaks everything up. And I'll be quiet for a second. What you'll notice is just quiet in this cabin. Great sound deadening, great weather stripping for the wind noise. But hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel of what the Chevrolet Suburban for 2022 is bringing. We're gonna get back to Dimmitt Chevrolet and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day here at Dimmitt Chevrolet. That rhymes, and I'm a poet, and I didn't even know it, but I definitely want to thank Raheel and the rest of the crew getting us access to this 2022 Chevrolet Suburban. Some big changes, especially to that interior. Have they done enough? Have they done enough to persuade you to not go to the GMC dealership and buy a Yukon XL? Put it in the comment section, or if you want that Yukon XL, put that in the comment section as well. Chevy does read our comments here on Raiti's Rides, but if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just like this for you, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Raiti's Rides merch. Gotta give it up to the queen of the camera. She is the rock. Sometimes, you know, things can happen where we get her to crack a smile every now and then. But thank you, Lori, for your hard work, dedication, and your amazing abilities. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.